What is up, y'all? Jacob Klukas will work the crowd on to part 16 of this series, and that is the Arizona Cardinals. And we're going to dive right into the draft here, get on up. So, the Arizona Cardinals finished 8-9 last year. And honestly, at one point, they looked like they could have won the division in the NFC West. And pretty much the reason they didn't is because this team could not defend a high school football team. They could not play defense. And they addressed that this offseason. They went out and made a lot of big signings this offseason. The biggest one being Josh Sweat from the Philadelphia Eagles. The one thing they did not address on the defensive side of the football in the offseason was the secondary. And I see a guy like Will Johnson here at pick 16. And that secondary is atrocious. I know we have Malachi Starks also sitting right here that I also really like, but at the same time, I think corner is a little bit more important than your safety position. We've got to address this cornerback room, and we're going to go get ourselves a lockdown guy. We're going to draft Will Johnson out of Michigan with our first pick in the first round. And we move on to the second round here. So, second round, what we could be looking at, offensive line. We could look at offensive line. We could look at the defensive line as well. But I would like to add on to this offensive line. And I see a guy here. I've told y'all before, Wyatt Millum, I think, is the best tackle in the class. But for the sake of not just trying not to draft him for a bunch of different teams, especially going forward, I'm gonna find somebody else here. And I'm gonna go again, and I know I've drafted him with a couple other teams too, but this is all realistic as well. Really between Ariante Ursary, or Donovan Jackson here. And I'm going to go Jackson just because of the versatility he could bring. I think the Cardinals need a guard more than a tackle, which Donovan Jackson can fill that need. But if they do end up needing a tackle, injury or something, they have him that they can slide out there. And then in the third round for the Arizona Cardinals, we could look at defensive line. I also would like to take a look at some of these receivers because I don't think you can continuously keep going. As good as the Cardinals were at times last year, I don't think you can just keep rolling out hope Marvin Harrison Jr. hits that great second year, and then also his guys next to him are Michael Wilson and Zay Jones. No disrespect to those guys. They're good players, but those aren't necessarily guys that you just want to keep having in your receiving room as your second and third option. So let's go try to find another guy to bring into this room. And I see a bunch of guys. Jalen Royals, I've told you, I think is really good and not getting talked about enough. Kyle Williams, another guy. Savion Williams, we've drafted a couple times. But I'm actually going to go Jalen Noel right here. Give them kind of just a different look at wide receiver than a Marvin Harrison Jr. So here we go. 3-round Arizona mock draft. We went Will Johnson round 1. We got to address the secondary. Donovan Jackson in round 2 to get some help on this offensive line. And then we got Jalen Noel in the third round at wide receiver. Arizona Cardinal fans, let me know how you feeling about this draft.